Welcome back, everybody, and happy Monday. It's March 9th, 2026. We'll get right to it. We have a new GOP chair, a big industrial announcement that doesn't involve Huntsville, and an eye-popping score from the boys basketball state finals. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama.
America leads the world in medicine development. It matters. We get new medicines first, nearly 3 years faster. 5 million Americans go to work because we make medicines here at home. And not relying on other countries keeps us safe. But China is racing to overtake us. Will we let them, or will we choose to stay ahead? When America leads, America cures. Let's tell Washington to keep us in the lead.
Learn how at americacures.com. Paid for by Pharma.
State Representative Scott Stothagen of Hartselle is the new chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, reports AL.com's Howard Koplowitz. The party's executive committee elected Stothagen with a 62% to 38% vote in a runoff over former Alabama Secretary of State John Merrill at the party's winter meeting Saturday at the Winfrey Hotel in Hoover. Stothagen recently stepped down from a leadership position in the state House of Representatives to run for party chair. Now, with new leadership in place, the state party quickly leaned on lawmakers to move on closing Alabama's primaries. In Alabama's open primaries, voters merely ask for a party's ballot when they vote in the primary. Many states have closed primaries, which require voters to be registered with a party in order to vote in that party's primary. And other states have hybrid versions. I've mentioned, for example, the top two format before. In a top two primary, candidates of all parties are listed in a single multi-party primary, and the top two vote getters in each race advance to the general election. Proponents say that one gives moderate, center-right, center-left, or more nuanced candidates more of a chance in a world where campaigns often try to outflank each other on the extremes. Well, the GOP passed a resolution Saturday calling on the legislature to pass a law closing the state's primaries to keep Democrats from crossing over to vote in the Republican primary. The concern is that since few Democrats have been competitive in recent statewide elections, their voters would be more likely to cross over and cast their votes for the least Republican, or maybe against the most Republican. No such legislation has been introduced during the current session, but State House Speaker Nathaniel Ledbetter said several lawmakers are working on proposals. An automotive supplier announced what might be the biggest industrial plans for Gadsden in nearly a century, reports AL.com's William Thornton. Minth Group is planning a $430 million plant to make plastic and aluminum components for U.S. auto plants, including Hyundai in Montgomery. The company said it would hire more than 1,300 workers with average wages of $49,000. The plant is planned for the former home of Republic Steel and Gulf State Steel. Coaches and players are often expected to strike a balance between letting their ball teams play hard, yet not needlessly embarrassing the opponents. The first question you ask is, at what point are you running up the score? And even then, are you taking extraordinary steps to pile on the points, such as when a football team calls a pass play on fourth down, or a basketball team continues to relentlessly push the ball down the court with baseball passes? Now mix into that balance the effort to not do things that are outright insulting to the team you're pummeling. For example, taking an easy sack or intentionally missing free throws would be a bit much. It's a subjective judgment, and everybody seems to have a different tolerance for running up the score. Now, in Saturday's Class 5A boys basketball state championship game, The score was undeniably a runaway. AL.com's Ben Thomas reports that Winona High School of Birmingham defeated Sylacauga 101-40, and 61 of Winona's points were scored in the second half, 3 of them on a 3-point shot at the buzzer. Now, it was the first time a boys' team scored more than 100 points and the biggest margin of victory in a state title game. Sylacauga coach Joel Jones was asked about the play toward the end of the game. He said, quote, "He can play however he wants, but there's a right and a wrong to me personally." Winona coach Cedric Lane said he apologized to Jones if he thought the score was unsportsmanlike, but that Sylacauga was taking shots too, and he played his entire team. Sylacauga is no pitiable program, by the way. The Aggies finished the season 30-3 with its second consecutive title game appearance. And just last year, they beat Winona 69-68 in the semifinals. The Dragons finished 27-5 and won their first state championship since 2019. And we have a couple of weather notes for the week, courtesy of AL.com weather reporter Lee Morgan. There is at least some chance of severe weather in the state today and Wednesday. The chances are going to vary wildly depending on where you are and how much the forecast changes after this recording, but be aware of the possibility for storms to come through during those 2 waves. Also, overnight Thursday into Friday, temperatures could dip down into the 30s again, so don't put up the flannel shirts just yet. Thank y'all for listening to us. We'll be back in the morning. Until then, y'all come by and see us on the internet at al.com.